Good morning, wet shavers and podcast lovers everywhere. It's Mark at GeorgeTune.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put on your earbuds, adjust your speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a little bit of this and that in podcast form. Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday Morning Mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive, for instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat, discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, and books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning again. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. It's great to get together with you. This is the second episode of the Second Cup podcast. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying these Second Cup podcast episodes. I'm having a lot of fun putting them together. And again, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me as I look out the window. It is a kind of a rainy, misty day. It's overcast. But you know, it's the perfect kind of day for a nice cup of coffee, looking out the window and just relaxing. And I hope the weather is a little more cooperative where you are, bright and sunny. But if it's this kind of weather, I think you'll agree with me. It's a nice change of pace. Just to sit back, nice cup of coffee, look out the window, relax, and just drink in the idle time that you have. Well, we've got some great topics to talk about this morning. Viewers are very generous with their information and their time. Let's kick it off with something from Fine Accoutrements. Now, if you are a customer of Fine Accoutrements, make sure you sign up for their email newsletter so you will receive these kinds of announcements. This came in my email just recently, and it says a Fine Bay Rum Shave Soap. They're releasing a new Bay Rum Shave Soap. It says here, our new soap is almost here. Bay Rum Shaving Soap is finally on its way stateside from our production partner in Italy. We anticipate a launch in October. We'll share more as we close in on the big day. For this launch, as a previous buyer, you will get first dibs on Bay Rum before it's released to the general public. Now, let me stop right there. Again, if you are customer of Fine Accoutrements, you've purchased from them previously, make sure you get on their email newsletter list so that you will receive this announcement and you'll get first in line for this launch of their Bay Rum Shave Soap. It continues. We've talked a lot recently about Bay Rum and aftershave. By the way, the early reviews have just started trickling in. See below. Now, this is in reference to their Bay Rum aftershave that is currently on sale right now. I will link to Fine Accoutrements so you can get up there and see it. It's one of the first things you see on their main page as you open it up. And they are getting some very, very good reviews on it. So now they've got a shave soap to go along with the aftershave. And again, they continue in their email announcement. Bay Rum 21st Century Shave Soap is the real deal too. We cut no corners with this formula and truly feel that it embodies the pinnacle of modern soap-making craftsmanship. What does that mean for your shave? A soap that builds into luxurious lather effortlessly. Long-lasting uber slickness for closeness and comfort in shaving your grandpa could only dream of. And perhaps best of all, a practically unbelievable post-shave feel that you might still be appreciating even the next day. It's all about transforming that daily chore of shaving into a pleasant, rewarding experience. Bay Rum Soap is coming your way soon. More to come. So there you go, from Fine Accoutrements, a Bay Rum Shave Soap, launching in October sometime. So make sure you sign up for their email newsletter so you get that announcement, especially if you're a fan of Fine Accoutrements products. I know I like their shave soaps. I've used their American blend in their original formula, not their 21st century formula. Their original formula was very, very good. I also have their Fine Marvel razor. Boy, that's a marvelous, marvelous razor. Really love the design of the razor head and the knurling on the handle. Very unique, very distinct. And I hope it's still available someplace, because the reason why I bought mine is because I got word that it was going to be discontinued. So you may be able to find it at some internet outlets, some web store outlets out there. So again, a terrific, terrific razor. So that's it from Fine Accoutrements, and just want to pass that on to you. Fine Bay Rum Shave Soap. In a recent Monday Morning Mailbag, I received a comment and question from a viewer named CG Retired. And CG wanted to know what he was doing wrong with the Gem Micromatic razor. And as I explained to him, you're not supposed to use the Gem Micromatic razor at a 30-degree angle. You're supposed to use it flat against the face. And went about discussing the technique to use the Micromatic razor, those kinds of things. And I completely forgot to mention the N-Gem razor from Roger Quintero. And I wanted to mention that this morning in the Second Cup podcast, because it really is a fabulous razor. Now, the N-Gem razor is based on a vintage razor called Ender's Speed. Very, very similar to the Gem Micromatic. I learned this after receiving the N-Gem razor from Roger. I had no idea that this Ender's Speed razor was available about the same time that the Gem Micromatic was available. Anyhow, as he writes on his page, Roger says, this single-edge safety razor is an Ender's Speed inspired design. This razor uses the more readily available Gem blades. Now, of course, the Gem blades are used in the Gem Micromatic razors. You can find these online in your local drugstore. Just don't get those blades from the paint aisle of a hardware store. That's not what you want to use. You want to use the blade that is specifically indicated for shaving. Anyhow, he continues here. Appropriately named N-Gem Speed, this razor is very easy to maneuver, and the unique handle design provides excellent feedback. Now, absolutely correct. When I reviewed this razor and used it for the first time, I was absolutely blown away at what a wonderful shave it delivers. Now, he sent along 3 of these razors because they're 3D printed. So to viewer CG, you can get these plans from Roger, and you can go to a local boutique 3D printing service and have them print the razor out for you, or talk to Roger and he'll help you out. But it was an absolutely fabulous, fabulous shave. A little bit of a trick getting the blade into the razor head, but I was very, very impressed with it because of its similar approach to shaving that it shares with the Gem Micromatic. Really, really something. I absolutely love to shave with this N-Gem from Roger Quintero. Really something. It's remarkable. It's amazing. It's so satisfying to see a lot of these vintage razors come back in new inspired designs using the latest technology like 3D printing. The Blackland Era razor, stainless steel razor, is also 3D printed out of stainless steel. Absolutely amazing. So that's why I say that there is just this explosion going on in the wet shaving world due to the popularity of the traditional wet shave coming back. It's created a market and a hunger for products like these. So that's why you're seeing these great, great razors out there. Now, don't misunderstand me. The Micromatic razors are really wonderful. They do require a different kind of approach, a different kind of technique, and you really have to hone in on that technique and use a much lighter touch than a DE razor, but it really does deliver a very, very satisfying shave. And there are a lot of wet shavers out there who really love the Gem Micromatic single edge razor. Absolutely love it. But just know that razor is inspiring other razors being made with new technology, and this N-Gem razor from Roger Quintero is one example of that, as is the Supply SE razor, inspired by those great vintage Schick injector razors. The Supply SE razor, marvelous, marvelous razor. So I just wanted to pass that on to the viewer CG Retires, because he was asking about the Gem Micromatic. And yes, it does take a little bit to really hone the technique and have an understanding of how it works and that sort of thing. But the N-Gem, much, much easier. Same kind of approach, but for some reason, because of the design and the materials, that sort of thing, it just was a delightful, delightful shave right out of the gate. So I just wanted to pass that along. Viewer Rodney Ripplinger checked in with some more information regarding his Razorine Double Edge Razor. This is a razor that is offered through Shave Nation. It's made in Italy. It's about $40, and it is on the aggressive side. Now, Rodney was very intrigued by it. He purchased one, and he's been giving me updates as to how his shaves are going. And he emailed me the following message. I watched a fellow in the UK trying out a Razorine DE. He was one of the first, as they were not available to the general public at the time. He eventually said he thought it would become one of his favorite razors. At the time he said that, he could shave with it all day long because it was the closest thing to a straight or shavette style razor without being one. He didn't feel it was as aggressive a razor as the R41. Now that would be the Mula R41 that he's referring to. He furthermore said that the Razorine sings to him. It does do that through a very audible feedback. It does that for me too. In addition, it sings to me thusly. Hello, Nick. Where are you, Nick? I'm coming for you, Nick. There you are. Well, he continues here. Actually, I'm getting better with it each time I use it. Most of the time, I'm down to a weeper or two, even none sometimes. I look forward to putting it through its paces once a week, if possible. Hey, Rodney, thanks very much for that update. If you're interested in the Razorine razor, I will have a link to it in the podcast description below. So you might want to give it a look, especially if you're interested in getting a razor that's on the more aggressive side. So Rodney, thanks very much for the update. Really do appreciate it. Tim Whitcup recently messaged me, and he wrote, I just found out that the King C Gillette razor blades are rebranded Russian Gillette Platinum blades. Now what he's saying here is that the Gillette Platinum blades and the King C Gillette blades are the same blade. The only thing that's different is the packaging. That's it. And I asked him where he got this information, and he said that he saw it on a video broadcast by Matt Pisarcik. Now, Matt is very much in the know. He has a lot of great information regarding vintage Gillette razors and that sort of thing. And since he is a seller of a lot of shaving gear, I would assume that his information is accurate. I can't verify it, but going by what Tim is telling me and the fact that the source is Matt, I would say this is pretty much bang on correct. So if you're looking to save a few bucks, just know that the Gillette Platinum blades and the King C Gillette blades are the same blade. The only difference is the packaging. Now, if you have heard differently, please send me an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll go over this again in a future Second Cup podcast. But my understanding, according to Tim, what he's heard from Matt Pisarcik, is that the King C Gillette razor blades and the Gillette Platinum blades are the same blade, just different packaging. Hey, Tim, thanks very much for the heads up. Really do appreciate it. I received a really nice email from Wayno regarding affordable shaving gear and getting into the traditional wet shave, starting out in the traditional wet shave. And he wrote, Hi, Mark. I want to let you know that I had a great shave this morning, and it was easy, fast, and very affordable. Here are the details. I showered first and used Cremo shave cream, around $8 locally, on my face like a soap. I rubbed it in well, but gently with my fingers. I did this for about 2 minutes for a thorough cleaning and beard prep. After showering, I wet my face and again put another few dabs of Cremo and use it as the instructions recommend. I just lathered it up with my fingers directly to my face without needing a brush. I then used my King C Gillette safety razor, currently priced between $20 and $30, and a Gillette Nasset blade. They cost $12 100 on Amazon. I did a single pass and got a great shave. Not BBS, but good enough for any casual situation or work. I used the tried and true Nivea Balm, $6 locally, followed by Stetson Cooling Moisture for my scent for my aftershave, also around $6 locally. To get started on wet shaving, this is very doable. The total initial investment is in the $50 range for a wonderful shaving experience. I cannot begin to tell you how smooth, comfortable, and forgiving my shave was. I felt almost nothing when I applied the alum afterward. An absolutely perfect single pass shave. As far as alum goes, I just got the GBS Alum Block 3-stone pack with travel case at Amazon for $9.69. A great deal. Now I have some to share. Thanks again for all your great videos. I know you credit the community for your success, but things like this start at the top, sir. Kudos. God bless. Well, you know what? That's really, really great to hear, Wayno. I really do appreciate it. And yes, you're correct. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get started in the traditional wet shave. What you've described here is a very, very good start. And it's also a great introduction to using a safety razor. Absolutely. And the King C Gillette is a very good safety razor. And yes, I have seen it priced from $20 to $30. I've even seen it priced maybe even a little lower at times on sale for like maybe $12, somewhere in that range. So absolutely wonderful razor to start out with. The Parker 78R is another very, very good razor for a beginner wet shaver. Absolutely. There's some really, really great razors out there for new wet shavers that are on the mild side, yet have some nice efficiency. But the point is, yes, for about $40 to $50, you can get started in the traditional wet shave and get all of these great gear ingredients to give yourself a terrific, terrific shave. Now, it's interesting that you did one pass because I've seen some discussion online regarding this, and a lot of gentlemen have said that they don't remember their fathers doing more than one pass in the morning. They would do one pass and then their shave would be done. Now, when they came home in the evening and they had to go to a PTA meeting or some other event, maybe they were taking their wife out for dinner, something like that, they would then go into the bathroom and have another shave for the evening out. And I remember my father doing that very, very clearly when I was a little boy. So I guess probably the approach to the wet shaving has evolved a little bit from maybe doing a single pass to get you through the day and then touching up in the evening, that sort of thing, to maybe doing 2 to 3 passes in the morning and then you're good for the rest of the day. Maybe it's something like that. But no rule says that you have to do 2 passes or 3 passes. If you're doing a shave, one pass and it's an agreeable shave, it's a great shave, hey, wonderful, wonderful to hear. That's absolutely great. So Wayno, thanks very, very much for that rundown on some very, very affordable shaving gear to get you started in the wet shave. And folks, don't be dissuaded from this because he's using Cremo. That's a very good starting point. A lot of new wet shavers will go to a big box store and try to search out some ingredients, and that eventually leads them to a Tabak, a Proraso, a shaving brush, an artisan shave soap. It really, it serves as an introduction and it really leads them down the path to improving their shave, improving their technique, and upgrading their shaving soaps and that sort of thing. So absolutely great introductory step, Wayno. Thanks so much for sharing it with all of us. Beth Jones checked in with information about a new razor. And she wrote, "Good evening again, Mark. Here's another razor I found out about today." Now, folks, this is the Drakant, Drakkant. I believe I pronounced that correctly, the Drakant, or Dragon Edge. And here's what it says on their product page. Inspired by the legendary craftsmanship of ancient Norse blacksmiths, the Dracont, or Dragon Edge, has been painstakingly engineered to provide a careful balance between aesthetics, comfort, and efficiency. Forged from 100% marine-grade 316 stainless steel and manufactured to exacting standards by one of the most trusted CNC houses in the safety razor business, this functional work of art delivers a precisely optimized shave experience that has rapidly developed a reputation for being at the top of its class. Wow, this razor retails at $170. It is an absolutely gorgeous looking razor. Beautiful razor. Now, here are some of the specs on it. It weighs in at 97 grams or 3.42 ounces. It has a standard 1032 thread. The handle is 89 millimeters in length or 3.5 inches. The gap in exposure, now they have a couple of plates available. The original plate has a gap of 0.73 millimeters and a neutral exposure. The plus plate, which is a little more aggressive, has a 0.99 millimeter gap and a 0.15 millimeter exposure. It has fully covered tabs. Now, I take this to mean that the end tabs of the razor blade are fully covered in the razor head. So that's why they list fully covered tabs here. It also has something called Higby threading. Now, a Higby cut is a specific cut added to a screw thread to produce a blunt start instead of the sharp end of the unmodified screw thread. It's named for its inventor, Clinton Higby. That sounds like a very nice detailed touch to the actual razor itself. It has a unique serial number, superior blade clamping. Now, I've been looking at some online forums and some discussions of this razor, and a lot of folks who have used this, who have reviewed it, who are commenting about it, absolutely state it has some wonderful, wonderful blade clamping. It has the trademark Dracont handle knurling. Now, I can't describe this to you. You have to click on the link that I'll provide in the podcast description below and visit the page. It is distinct. It is unique. It evokes this Norse mythology kind of look to it. It really is very, very striking and appears to be highly, highly functional. It is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous razor made from premium stainless steel, superior blade clamping. End tabs are enclosed in the razor head. It has that little detail to the razor cap, that Higby threading, which is a really nice touch. Comes with a couple of different plates for blade exposure and aggression, an original plate and a plus plate. Well, I think it's going to come with one plate. You get to purchase another plate if you want. I think that's how that's going to work. But it looks like an absolutely gorgeous razor. And of course, it's $170, but it looks like a superior manufactured product. So if you're interested in a new razor and you want something that is definitely top shelf, that is getting a lot of positive reviews from what I see online, check out the Dracont razor. I'll have links below, and we're also going to collect additional information down the road and share that with you in some future podcasts and also Monday morning mailbag broadcasts. Beth Jones has already given me some additional information, and I'm going to go through that and share that with you down the road. But for now, just know that this razor is available. I'll have a link below. It is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful razor. And again, it does have that Norse mythological kind of look and feel to it. It really is cool looking. It has that vibe. So please click on the link and check that out. And my thanks to Beth Jones for passing this information along. Thank you very, very much, Beth. Really do appreciate it. Well, it's been a great podcast so far. I've enjoyed a cup of coffee with you this morning. Thanks for sitting down and listening to the show. Speaking of coffee, Mark Williams sent along a sampler of Black Rifle coffee. What an absolutely wonderful and enjoyable coffee. It is veteran owned. It has a military theme to it. It's marvelous coffee. I will link it below. So please give them a look if you're looking for a really, really wonderful, full-bodied cup of coffee. Check out Black Rifle Coffee. My thanks to Mark Williams for sending it along. We're going to be giving away a bag of Black Rifle Coffee, courtesy of Mark Williams, in the 9,000 subscriber giveaway. So Mark, thank you again very, very much. Folks, Black Rifle Coffee, I'll link them below. Please give them a look. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Again, we have a lot of viewers and listeners across the pond in the United Kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth, so my deepest condolences and sympathies to all of the viewers and listeners in the United Kingdom, throughout the Commonwealth, and especially to the royal family. What a grand lady she was. Now, back in 2016, I started to watch the Netflix series The Crown. Very, very well done. If you have not seen this television series, I highly recommend a viewing of it. It is very well done. The cast is amazing. The actors are wonderful. You just really have to see it. And because of that show, I wanted to learn a little bit more about Queen Elizabeth. And I happened on a book in my local library called The Real Elizabeth, An Intimate Portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Andrew Marr. Now, this book was written in 2012 on the occasion of her Diamond Jubilee. Now, the author, Andrew Marr, was given unprecedented access to Buckingham Palace and the life of Queen Elizabeth and the royal family and that sort of thing. So there is a lot of inside baseball going on here in this book, and you learn a lot of little details that the television series The Crown hints at, but doesn't really give you the backstory to. For example, when you watch the show The Crown, in the early episodes, you see the young Princess Elizabeth interacting with her father, King George. She walks into his office one morning, and there is a box on his desk, and he's opening the box, and he's pulling out these papers, and he remarks to her, you know what, you'll be doing this someday when you're a queen. And they leave it at that. They don't give any background as to what that thing is that he's doing with this box and these papers. And later on in the series, you see the young queen actually doing that. In the morning hours, she sits down at her desk, she opens up this box, she pulls out these papers, she goes through them. And they leave it at that. Now, in the book, Andrew Marr tells you exactly what that is. The queen was reader number one, meaning that those papers are all the reports and documents and classified documents of everything going on in the United Kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth. She is the first one to read all these reports. Then I imagine after she's done reading them, then they go to the Prime Minister and the cabinet members of the Prime Minister and anybody else who has intelligence clearance and that sort of thing in order to read some of the classified documents, I would think. That sort of thing. So the book gives you a little more detailed as to what her job entails and what her day-to-day duties were and how very devoted she was to the job and to the people, the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. Really very, very remarkable. So if you want to know a little bit more about Queen Elizabeth II, this is a very good book. Again, it's called The Real Elizabeth, An Intimate Portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Andrew Marr. I highly recommend it. And I'm sure there will be other books detailing her life. And I would guess that the author, Andrew Marr, will be possibly writing another one, maybe even updating this one, because this was the Diamond Jubilee back in 2012. And of course, 10 years have gone by. So there's a lot more to write about in those 10 years. So I highly recommend the television series The Crown, streaming on Netflix, and especially this book by Andrew Marr. It really gives you a wonderful look at Queen Elizabeth, her life, how she carried out her duties. And really, by the time you finish the book, if you've admired her, you admire her all the more. You are really endeared to her. So again, my deepest condolences and sympathy to everyone in the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth, and especially to members of the royal family. What a wonderful and grand lady she was. She will be missed. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll try to get it sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.